How's it going, everyone? After our last challenge, it was pretty easy for me to decide between both how fun it was and my lack of creativity that I want to do more Pokemon challenges. For this challenge, we're doing Pokemon Black 2 with only Rotom, because while Rotom isn't particularly weak, it does have the unique ability to change its ghost type and gain a strong move for its new type. I'm thinking this will allow for some pretty interesting gameplay, but since we can't change forms until late in the game, that won't be a big part of any strategies for most of the game. But we will at least have the different forms by the time we make it to the Pokemon League, so that should make the Elite Four more interesting, as we'll have more options than just going through, fainting, grinding, and repeating. The Chimchar only Platinum video ended up having a lot of fluff in it, which made the video over an hour long, so I'm going to try my best to at least cut the video length to around 30 minutes. But maybe you like longer videos that you can just listen to in the background. Let me know down in the comments, and if at any point you find you're enjoying yourself, leave a like and or subscribe for more content similar to this in the future. It would be greatly appreciated and help the channel grow. With that out of the way, let's get some rules in place. Firstly, we can only use Rotom in battle. We can't use items in battle, including held items. The only items we can use are Pokeballs to catch HM Pokemon. We are not allowed to use save states to manipulate battles during any battle. But we can make save states outside of battles themselves, and we can load them at any point. During the last challenge, the healing rule for the Elite Four was a bit sloppy to say the least. So this time, I'm going to change it up and add a bit more clarity. We cannot heal at any point during the Elite Four, but we can heal at the Pokemon Center just before the Elite Four chambers, and we can heal just before battling the champion, Iris. Now it's time to get started. Hugh and I pick up our starters. Out of Rotom, Rotom, and Rotom, I choose Rotom and name it Phone, and he chooses Snivy. I decide we'll max out both special attack EVs and speed EVs, since the default form of Rotom has best stats in special attack and speed, and without even looking at Rotom's moveset, its base attack stat, combined with our nature, means that physical attacks are pretty much out of the question for any relatively strong Pokemon. Rotom's other forms lower its base speed by like 10 points, but that's still pretty good. So even in its other forms, Rotom is still pretty fast, so we grind this day and the next day for speed on Purloin, catch a Purloin and Patrat, which I assume can learn Cut, and some other HMs. But I haven't seen gameplay of this game nor played it enough myself to remember what HMs are needed, and dodge as many trainers as we can on our way to Flockacy Ranch, where we grind special attack on both Psyduck and Mareep, and catch a Psyduck in case we need Surf or Waterfall or whatever, and Pidove for Fly. We most likely don't need this many HM Pokemon, but gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch him all.
After that, we go beat up Sharon's poor Patrat and Lillipup, since we're 7 levels over his Lillipup from EV training. Then we head to Roxy's gym, where we have little trouble taking out both her Pokemon. 2 gym badges down already? This game feels like it has faster pacing than Pokemon Platinum, but maybe that's just because it wants to rush us to Pokestar Studios, which is where we have to go next. Well, I have bad news. Pokestar Studios is not something that can be skipped, and it forces us to do a film where we have to fight using a Riolu. So it seems that you can't beat Pokemon Black 2 using only a Rotom. So I'll see you next time. We find some Team Plasma Grunts down in the sewer, and surprisingly, our level 22 Rotom actually fails to knock out a level 16 Scraggy in one Uproar. So this challenge might actually be a bit more difficult than anticipated. When we reach Berg, he's actually a problem. We try out a Shockwave on Swadloon thinking he'll send out Dwebble next, so we don't want to get caught in an Uproar. But Shockwave doesn't even do half Swadloon's health, so we just use Uproar anyway, and it does about half its health and damage, leaving it in the red and causing Berg to use his Hyper Potion. We take out Swadloon in just enough turns that we're not stuck using Uproar, but due to Dwebble's sturdy, we take a hit and go down to Leavanny. Okay, so this is interesting. We might have to go grind, but I want to try just leading with Uproar first and see how that goes. The second attempt goes much better as we get a critical hit on the first Uproar to one-shot Swadloon and take out Dwebble with 2 more turns of Uproar. We arrive at Leavanny with no damage taken. Since we got neither Swadloon nor Dwebble low enough to make Berg use his potion, we go for Confuse Ray in the hopes that Leavanny will hit itself, since Uproar is just short of knocking out Leavanny in 2 hits. We land the Confuse Ray, and Leavanny hits itself once on the first turn, but it ends up not mattering since Leavanny is holding a Citrus Berry, so we don't knock it out with 2 Uproars, and Berg uses his potion. 2 Uproars later, and Leavanny misses its Razor Leaf, so we're able to win the battle and get our 3rd gym badge. On the way to battle Alessa and earn our 4th gym badge, we make it to level 29, where we replace Thunder Wave with Ominous Wind, which both gives us coverage and allows us to beat Alessa on the first try thanks to an Omni Boost. She gives us the TM for Volt Switch, which we swap with Shockwave and its inability to miss, in exchange for the 15 more power after accounting for same type attack bonus. On the way to get our 5th gym badge, we skillfully dodge all these trainers just to be told we have to do a rotation battle to continue, which requires at least 3 Pokemon, and all our Pokemon are in the PC. How much you want to bet that between going to the Pokemon Center and coming back here, we'll end up running into at least one of these trainers? Let's see. Back to the Pokemon Center, and we succeed. Back to the Biker, and we succeed again. Nice. Any Pokemon in a rotation battle get experience, so that's why my Purloin and Pidove are now higher level, in case it's not obvious later. We also get a Zoroa from one of the X-Team Plasma guys, so we deposit that and head for the clay. The clay. I put the clay. Nice. We deposit Zoroa and head for clay at the 5th gym. Reaching clay, we take down his first 2 Pokemon pretty easily, but his Excadrill is a pretty big issue since our 3 attacking moves either aren't very effective or just won't work on it. The only other move we can learn at this point in the game is Signal Beam, which is a bug-type move that Excadrill also resists. On the next attempt, we get Clay to waste his potion on Krokorok, which allows us to take down his Excadrill as it hits itself twice in confusion and misses a Rock Slide. 5th gym badge achieved. We're forced to do the Pokemon World Tournament, which requires we have at least 3 Pokemon in our party, which means we can't use Volt Switch, but even without Volt Switch, we managed to win all 3 battles. We then head to Team Plasma's ship, where we help Charon and Hugh beat up some grunts before going to Mr. Alton City. We pretty much sweep through Skyla's team with Volt Switch, as you might imagine, earning us our 6th gym badge. Skyla takes us to Lentimus Town, where we can get our new move Dark Pulse, which requires 10 blue shards, so we have to go collect those. You can buy blue shards from the antique shop in Joint Avenue, but I can't quite get many people to enter Joint Avenue, so we just go forfeit the Pokemon World Tournament, because that seems like the next best option. After like 20 minutes and 30,000 battles later, we finally obtain our 10th blue shard, so we replace Confuse Ray with Dark Pulse. The next day, we make our way through Reversal Mountain with Bianca, and the very first battle we run into, our Rotom faints. But we don't black out because Bianca is able to win the battle with her Mienfoo, and she takes care of our Rotom, so we don't technically black out. That's really interesting. Maybe this is the same circumstance in Platinum, but I would always reset if Chimchar fainted, because I just assumed it would count as a blackout. Regardless, let me know down in the comments if you'd prefer that I restart the battle if Rotom faints in a situation like this one, or if you think it's fine to let our partner try to finish the battle if we faint. After arriving at Undella Town, Hugh challenges us to a battle, and we get destroyed on the first attempt. After a few more attempts, I decide we'll replace Ominous Wind with Shadow Ball. Ominous Wind is our only way of raising Rotom's special attack, but it's too unreliable. We could replace something with Will-O-Wisp, but we'll save that for when we run into another issue. Except even with 30 extra power after same type attack bonus, Shadow Ball doesn't quite get superior to half health, so I guess we will try Will-O-Wisp. We go get the TM and replace Uproar with it. The first attempt with Will-O-Wisp, and we miss. But we manage to land it on the next attempt, and we beat Hugh with our Rotom on full health. We reach Lacunosa Town, help Hugh beat up some Team Plasma members, and go to the Pokemon Center and pick up the TM for Thunder, in case we need it later. Maybe it's because Thunder has lower accuracy, but you can't actually get the Thunderbolt TM until later in the game at Victory Road. Right before reaching Opelucid City, Virizion jumps out in front of us. I don't know if it's trying to get hit by a vehicle or something, but we've got a journey to finish, so we run right past it. Before we take on Drayden's gym, we head to Route 9, where we gain access to Shopping Mall 9, where we can finally change Rotom's forms. So we replace Shadow Ball with Blizzard after changing Rotom to its ice form, since we're about to take on our Dragon gym. At the gym, we're forced to do either a rotation battle or triple battle, so we go retrieve Pidove and Purloin from our PC and use only Rotom in the rotation battle. Finally at Drayden, he doesn't give us too much difficulty as we miss Blizzard on Drotagon, but Revenge doesn't hurt quite enough to be worried, and Drotagon faints to 1 Blizzard. We miss Blizzard again on Flygon, but it misses Rock Slide, so we take it down with another Blizzard. Drayden's last Pokemon is Haxorus, which could be an issue if we miss Blizzard, since we only have 1 power point left on it, and Haxorus is a strong Pokemon. But we thankfully land it, taking out Haxorus in, again, 1 shot, as we get our 7th gym badge. Before Team Plasma shows up, we switch Rotom to its washing machine form, since Hydro Pump is a little more reliable than Blizzard, and I don't want to deal with special attack drop from Overheat or Leaf Storm until it seems like we may need to. We also replace Dark Pulse with Will-O-Wisp, since I realized there's not really a reason to have both Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse. Fighting Zinzalin in front of the Opelucid City gym, we black out once due to missing 2 Hydro Pumps, and after a few more attempts, I decide we'll go ask Team Plasma to halt what they're doing as we go grind, oh hey Virizion, for about 10,000 more monies, and then we'll go purchase, by Virizion, Rain Dance and learn it over Will-O-Wisp, since Rain Dance will boost Hydro Pump's damage and help with Thunder's accuracy issue, so we can replace Volt Switch for Thunder. This attempt goes much better, and if it weren't for Weavile's Ice Shard, we would have won because Light Screen wore off after we live on 2 HP. A couple more attempts later, and we're able to win due to getting a critical hit on the second Cryogonal, so it's not able to set up a Light Screen, letting us take out Weavile in 2 hits. I think this has been the unluckiest set of attempts on the same person in my entire history of playing Pokemon. On one of the attempts, we miss 4 out of 5 Hydro Pumps, and on the attempt right before the winning attempt, Cryogonal uses Confuse Ray, and we hit ourselves in confusion, I think 3 or 4 times. Moving on, we challenge Humalaw's Water Gym and its gym leader Marlin. Despite Marlin using Water-type Pokemon, you might expect this battle to be easy peasy, but it turns out to be surprisingly difficult. We set up a Rain Dance on Caracosta, but due to Sturdy, we're forced to take 2 hits of Crunch, which hurts us quite a bit. We manage to take down Jellicent with 1 Thunder, but due to its Cursed Body ability, we have to deal with Wailord without a super effective move. We use a Shadow Ball as it uses Amnesia, making its special defense go up by 2 stages, so things are not looking great. We use another Shadow Ball, and fortunately lower its special defense by 1 stage as it goes into the sky with Bounce. We could have used Rain Dance, but I decide to just skip the turn, not wanting to power up its Scald in case our Thunder is still disabled. Bounce almost takes us out, but we manage to live on 2 HP. Unfortunately, we're paralyzed, but our Thunder is no longer disabled, so as long as we can manage to not be fully paralyzed and land the Thunder, we should win the battle here. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens, winning us our final gym badge. Making our way to Red Unova of Team Plasma, Colress meets up with us as we come across a Terrakion. I don't know why he doesn't just capture it, but I'm sure someone will do something with it eventually. On to Team Plasma. We're finally forced to use the first HM for the game. So glad I caught all these HM Pokemon. After beating up Team Plasma, they soar off, so we chase after them, and we manage to get the key card after only 2 guesses of who has it. So we battle Zinzalin, and we faint on the first attempt because I forgot to heal up. So we do that, and sweep through his whole team. Time to fight Colress. After a couple attempts, we're just shy of knocking out Magneton in 1 Hydro Pump, that way we don't have to deal with its Thunder Wave. So we go back and fight a few more of the grunts for 1 level, just to find out that Magneton has Sturdy, which means that we either did just enough damage to get it at exactly 1 HP, or it was a little bit above 1 HP. But either way, we can't knock out Magneton in 1 hit, so we got that level for nothing. After many different attempts and failed strategies, we go to the move reminder lady and have Rotom learn Substitute. We faint again, but this seems a lot more viable than all of our other strategies, since he hates fast Pokemon, so his Magneton will keep trying to use Thunder Wave on our Substitute, and I imagine his Magnezone will do the same thing. We go change to Washing Machine form. Like I said, we tried a lot of different strategies for a bit more special attack and defenses, and if we can avoid paralyzing Behiam with Thunder, we should be able to win this. I never thought I'd see the day that I make good use of Substitute in any scenario, but Substitute made Colress's team look like an absolute joke. Not only did we sweep through most of his Pokemon with Thunder as we were free to set up rain dances and light screens, but not one of his Pokemon attacked our Substitute. Boy, am I glad that's over. You know, I literally said to myself on that first attempt, I was like, why am I getting serious final Cyrus battle vibes from this? So, yeah, definitely was about as hard as Cyrus. Anyways, we beat Kyurem after switching to Rotom Mow, and then to Rotom Heat and replacing Thunder with Overheat. Then we lose to Ghetsis, so we can go switch back to Rotom Wash and replace Light Screen with Thunder, beating his team after a few more attempts. Then we make our way to the Elite Four, picking up Thunderbolt after a few attempts on Hugh. We use a PP Max we picked up earlier on Thunder and review our current stats. We have higher special attack than we had on Chimchar at level 100, but for some reason, I think this will be more difficult than the Chimchar only Elite Four. Maybe it's because of our healing restriction, so we'll probably run out of power points before we make it to Iris. But we enter the Elite Four and take our first battle against Chantel, the Ghost-type Elite Four user. We set up a substitution in anticipation that she uses a move like Toxic, and she does go for Will-O-Wisp, so we set up a Rain Dance and take down her Cofagrigus with one Thunder, only using Hydro Pump for when we really need to use it to save power points, and taking down her last Pokemon Drifblim with one Thunder. So far, so good. Next is Grimsley and his Dark-type team. He leads with Liepard. We just go for Rain Dance, figuring Liepard's damage will be less than the health Substitute takes, and we take down Liepard with one Thunder. Crocodile with one Hydro Pump, Scrafty with two Thunders due to a crit on the second one, and his Bisharp with one Thunder. 2 down, 2 to go, but our health is getting low, so I'm pretty worried. Third is Caitlyn with her Psychic team. She leads with Musharna, and I'm predicting it'll go for either Calm Mind or Toxic, so we go for a substitute. It goes for Yawn. Close enough. We take it down with 2 Thunders. Reuniclus with 3 Thunders, and it misses a Focus Blast, so we still have our substitute up. Gothitelle breaks our substitute as we take it out with 2 more Thunders, and she sends out her final Pokemon, Sigilif, but we manage to land the Thunder, taking it out in one hit. We win, but our Rotom is very low on health as we arrive at our final Elite Four member, Marshall, and his fighting type team. I'm almost certain this battle is going to take multiple attempts. I'm surprised the other 3 Elite Four members only took 1 attempt, to be honest. We try for a substitute to see if we somehow have enough health to set one up, and sure enough, we don't. But we dodge a Rock Tomb and survive on 1 HP for the one that does land right after. We run out of power points on Thunder and Hydro Pump though, but I'm almost certain we can win with a Rain Dance to power up Hydro Pump, so we can one-shot throw to give us enough power points to just barely manage to win. As we're battling him on the next attempt, I'm really hoping that none of his Pokemon have Sturdy, and just as we're about to win, he sends out his last Pokemon, Sock, who we almost take out in 1 hit, but just as feared, Sock does have Sturdy. We're so close. We are literally 1 HP away from beating the Elite Four without healing. I do have a plan though. As much as I don't want to get rid of Substitute yet, because to be honest it's pretty much been carrying us for a bit, we replace it with Will-O-Wisp and start the battle again. I don't expect this to work on the first try, so I'll do it until we're able to execute the plan, and I'll show the footage for that and explain it to you in case you're not quite sure yet what it is. Many attempts later, and RNG finally plays out in our favor. We Rain Dance, Throw Mrs. Rock Tomb, we knock out Throw, Mienfoo, and Conkeldurr, all in one Hydro Pump each. Marshall sends out his Sock. We land Will-O-Wisp to cut Sock's attack stat in half, but that doesn't even matter because it uses Rock Tomb. But we still need to burn to get rid of a little bit of its health so Sturdy can't activate as we land the Thunder and knock out his Sock, winning us our final battle in the Elite Four. The odds of this strategy ever working out are pretty low, to be honest, so I'm surprised it only took 30 attempts to work out, but we can finally heal up as we head onward to our final battle against the champion, Iris. First attempt, and her Hydreigon gets us low, and we miss Will-O-Wisp on Haxorus, so we go down to an X-Scissor. After many attempts, I decide we'll just go grind to level 75, because we just need a little bit more damage to have a chance at this. That, and I want to pick up the TMs for Double Team, which we get with BP, so we do the World Tournament several times for 5 more BP, Thunder Wave, Reflect, and we also use 2 PowerPoint ups on Hydro Pump. We arrive back at Iris at level 77, but I forgot to pick up any elixirs or ethers, so we have to black out again, go pick up 2 more max elixirs and a PowerPoint up, use the PowerPoint up on Hydro Pump, and make our way back to Iris. Arriving at level 81, we still don't win on the first attempt back, but this battle looks a lot more winnable than before. By the way, just in case you're wondering, all the times I went back through the Elite Four, even though I already technically beat them all without healing, I still stayed true to the rules and beat the Elite Four all 3 times without healing. And we would arrive at Marshall with enough health for a substitute as long as the Liepard from earlier didn't lead with Fake Out. So Marshall was a lot easier the following 2 times. After only 3 attempts at level 81, we land 2 Thunders on Hydreigon to take it out while we still have a good amount of health. We land the Hydro Pump on Aggron to take it out in 1 hit. We set up a substitute on Haxorus, knowing it'll go for a Dragon Dance, and we get it down to red HP with Hydro Pump. Haxorus uses another Dragon Dance, so we're safe for a bit longer. Iris heals up Haxorus as we land another Thunder on it. It uses X-Scissor, breaking our substitute as we land another Thunder. She sends out Druddigon, which is what has been an issue for us for the previous attempts, because we've been arriving at too low of health without being able to knock it out in 1 hit. But this time, we have almost half health, so we risk a Rain Dance as it uses Dragon Tail, leaving us with plenty of HP to knock it out in 1 Hydro Pump, leaving our victory secured as we're guaranteed to land the last 2 Thunders on her Lapras and Archeops, winning us the game and the challenge. I don't really have much to say. Despite Rotom's good stats, this challenge ended up taking a lot longer than it should have, mostly due to RNG. We missed Hydro Pump and Thunder so many times when it was actually important to land them. Hydro Pump missed 3 times in a row, several times throughout this challenge. I know this happens to other people, so it's not like I'm unlucky, but boy, does it sure make me feel like it when we paralyze an enemy and it never is fully paralyzed at any point before we knock it out. Meanwhile, we usually are fully paralyzed on first turns of paralysis. Anyways, if you enjoyed yourself, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I would appreciate it immensely. I'm Brian, aka Pikachu Clone, and hopefully I'll see you around.